Nearly 1 million jobs vanished overnight. Not lost, but erased from history as if they never existed at all.
The growing U.S. job market has made looking for work nearly impossible for many Americans.
It's been impossibly difficult. It's been almost 2 years.
I was told by a lot of people that I was going to get a job right out of college, and then all of a sudden, there's no job.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics cut 900,000 jobs from the record in their revision for the year ending March 2025. Positions that were counted, celebrated in headlines, used to justify policy decisions, yet phantom from the very beginning. Meanwhile, 7.4 million Americans wake up each morning to scroll through job listings, tailor resumes, and send applications into what increasingly feels like a void. The official unemployment rate sits at 4.3%, a figure that seems almost quaint until you meet the people behind it. 2 years of applications, hundreds of customized resumes, now cobbling together 5 part-time gigs that barely crack $40,000 annually while living in subsidized housing. Watching economic storm clouds gather overhead, wondering when the bottom falls out completely. Something fundamental has broken in how America creates and distributes work. We're living through what economists are beginning to recognize as a job market recession, a sustained contraction in employment opportunities, even while other economic indicators flash green. The S&P 500 has surged 35% since spring. The Dow Jones shattered the 47,000-point barrier for the first time in October. Corporate profit margins for S&P 500 companies hit 13% in the third quarter of 2025, according to Bank of America research, reaching historic peaks. Yet CBS News reports that these same profit-generating machines eliminated nearly 1 million positions in 2025, the most severe annual contraction since the pandemic year of 2020. Challenger, Gray, and Christmas tracked 1.1 million layoff announcements through October alone, a 65% spike compared to the previous year. This isn't a contradiction. It's the new architecture of capitalism. Companies have mastered the art of generating wealth while shedding workers, achieving efficiency gains through automation and restructuring that boost margins without boosting headcount. Chen Zhao, chief global strategist at Alpine Macro, calls it a jobless boom, prosperity that bypasses the people who need it most. Wall Street rewards this ruthlessly. Announce layoffs, watch your stock price climb. The market has learned to celebrate cost-cutting as corporate discipline rather than human displacement. Meanwhile, inflation hovers at 3.0% as of September 2025, and the National Association of Realtors found that 79% of workers can't afford a home at current median prices. The American dream wasn't lost, it was taken. Technology has always disrupted labor markets, but artificial intelligence represents something qualitatively different. This isn't the steam engine replacing muscle power or the spreadsheet replacing the adding machine. AI is climbing the skill ladder faster than workers can. U.S. employers announced 77,999 tech sector job losses directly attributed to AI and automation, with giants like Amazon and Microsoft leading the purge. That's nearly 500 people daily losing their livelihoods to algorithms in just the first half of 2025. The World Economic Forum's 2025 Future of Jobs report projects 92 million positions displaced by AI and automation by 2030, not decades from now, but within a single presidential term. The early waves of automation swept away predictable targets: factory line workers, data entry clerks, customer service representatives handling routine inquiries. AI's second wave is crashing into territory once considered immune. McKinsey research suggests generative AI could automate up to 30% of hours worked across the United States by 2030. Bloomberg analysts found AI capable of replacing 53% of market research analyst tasks and 67% of sales representative functions. Goldman Sachs estimated that generative AI alone could impact 300 million full-time jobs globally, carving into high-skill sectors like law, media, and finance, professions that required years of education and were supposed to offer security in return. Deloitte's 2025 research revealed that AI development is specifically targeting entry-level tasks, the foundational work that has always served as the gateway into professional careers. National university data shows 40% of employers planning workforce reductions wherever AI can substitute for human judgment. The optimists point to the World Economic Forum's projection of 170 million new roles emerging by 2030 in AI development, green technology, and digital infrastructure, a net gain of 78 million positions globally. But this mathematical comfort obscures a brutal reality. The jobs being eliminated today and the jobs being created tomorrow require fundamentally different skill sets. National university research indicates 59% of workers will need upskilling or reskilling by 2030. The Coursera Skills Report found that workers obtaining in-demand certifications, AWS, Google Data Analytics, CompTIA Security Plus, saw their interview callback rates jump 42%. But retraining takes time, money, and opportunity that displaced workers often don't have. McKinsey estimates 12 to 14% of workers may need to transition entirely into new occupations as automation reshapes employment by 2030. The transition period isn't a footnote, it's the crisis. And nowhere is this more visible than in what's happening to the traditional career path itself. For generations, American careers followed a predictable geometry, a wide base of entry-level workers supporting progressively smaller tiers of mid-level professionals and senior leaders. Young people entered at the bottom, learned on the job, and climbed steadily upward through accumulated experience and demonstrated competence. That pyramid is collapsing into a diamond, narrow at the bottom, bulging in the middle, constricted at the top. The implications cascade through every level of the workforce. Entry-level positions are vanishing like morning fog. Those that remain have mutated into something unrecognizable. Jobs labeled entry-level that demand 2 to 3 years of prior experience. SHRM research found that 61% of full-time positions now require this experience for roles that historically provided it. Rejection after rejection arrives with the same Kafkaesque logic. Sorry, you need 3 years of experience, but this is listed as entry-level? You need 3 years of experience for that job. The Federal Reserve reports that the average 2025 graduate carries approximately $39,000 in student debt, entering a job market that increasingly treats them as damaged goods unless they've somehow acquired experience while acquiring that debt. The experience paradox isn't just frustrating, it's structurally destructive. When fewer people can enter at the base, fewer people develop the skills and institutional knowledge needed to advance. Companies have always relied on a pipeline of entry-level workers who would absorb organizational culture, learn processes, make mistakes cheaply, and gradually become the mid-level professionals who keep operations running. When that pipeline constricts, the entire internal mobility system starts to fail. Mid-level positions feel the squeeze from both directions. Below them, fewer workers are developing the company-specific experience and progressive skill building that traditionally created qualified candidates for advancement. LinkedIn's economic graph data from the third quarter of 2025 shows remote positions in project management and cloud architecture increasing more than 30% year over year, roles typically requiring 5 to 7 years of progressive experience that fewer workers are now able to obtain. At the senior level, organizations need experienced leaders, but the traditional pathway to developing them, through progressive roles starting at entry level, has been disrupted. You can't harvest what you never planted. Meanwhile, growing sectors like healthcare and software development are expanding rapidly. Healthcare support jobs projected to grow 11.5% through 2033. Software development by 25% by 2032. But these opportunities exist in a different ecosystem than the collapsing pyramid. They require specific credentials and often don't solve the fundamental problem of how young workers gain their first foothold in professional life. The forces reshaping American employment are structural, not cyclical. Layoffs are accelerating, while profits soar. Entry-level positions are disappearing into the automation void. The traditional career ladder has been sawed off at the bottom rungs. The diamond structure squeezes workers at every level. Recent graduates facing the experience paradox. Mid-career professionals competing for advancement opportunities that no longer exist in proportion to the number of people qualified for them. Senior workers watching the pipeline dry up below them. We can't legislate away these macro forces. We can't collectively bargain with algorithms. We can't vote to reverse the structural transformation of how companies develop talent and distribute opportunity. But we can choose how we respond. We can pursue targeted reskilling in high-demand areas, cloud computing, data analysis, cybersecurity, even when it requires financial sacrifice. We can build lateral career paths when vertical advancement stalls, moving across industries rather than up within them. We can create communities of mutual support and knowledge sharing instead of competing in isolation. We can leverage the 42% increase in interview callbacks that comes with recognized certifications. We can demand that policymakers address the transition crisis with expanded access to training programs, rather than celebrating projected job gains while ignoring millions displaced between now and then. The unraveling won't stop because we want it to, but how we navigate it, individually and collectively, will determine whether this becomes a temporary disruption or a permanent fracturing of the social contract that once promised hard work would be rewarded with security and opportunity. The job market isn't going to save us. We're going to have to save ourselves. At Market Media, your opinion matters to us. What's your thoughts about AI and the job market? Are you new to the workforce and worried about job security? Share your story in the comments below. Please hit the subscribe button below.